A very good afternoon from the Perth Hockey Stadium as it's the final match in the round robin for the men's Premier 1 competition. Nothing to play for these two teams, just pride on the line as Victoria Park Xavier Hockey Club sitting 9th on the ladder and North Coast Raiders sitting bottom and have already been confirmed that they will be relegated at the end of the season. So they've got just pride to play for, and North Coast Raiders, well, they're looking for their first win of the season. It's been a winless season so far, 21 matches, no wins, 20 losses and just one draw, which was an absolute thriller, 6-all against Curtin University, which we were fortunate to be live streaming. Hopefully today's game will be as exciting as that one as we turn our attention to the two team lineups. Players to look out for, well, for Victoria Park, Sasha Thomas is always a player that's lively, and he played for Western Australia in their game against India. Aidan Lowe's is another player that's coming into his own. Brody Saar, their captain, will always try and have his influence on the match. And also look out for Japanese import, number 39, Miyu Tanemitsu, from penalty corners. Turning our attention to North Coast Raiders, well, they've got a lot of young faces in their team, and it makes it very difficult to know which of the players to look out for, but certainly a promising player is number 16, Lloyd Cant. Matthew Espy is the long-standing captain and a player who is North Coast Raiders through and through, and he will battle to the very end, while as the fulcrum in the midfield could well be Jasdev Singh wearing number 5. Well, Vic Park are coached by Jason Butcher and North Coast Raiders by Charlie Godoy. Let's hope that we are in for an absolute thriller. Both teams can just throw caution to the wind and try and finish their season with a win. And it would be great to see that being the case. I'm Ashley Morrison, looking forward to bringing you all the action for this match. And once again, I would like to thank our sponsors, Kookaburra, Tiger Turf, Danks Furniture, and of course Ausdrill and FMG for their support of the live stream. Well, Vic Park have just watched their women give themselves an outside chance of making the finals. They've climbed into the top 4. They've just got to wait and see whether Suburban Lions can be victorious over UWA, and that will be good for them if they can at least have one team in the finals, even if the men's team is not going to be there this time around. The North Coast Raiders, they're going to have to rebuild. It's been a really long, tough season for them. They've conceded 108 goals in their 21 matches. So you'd have to say that their goalkeeper, Sam Starkey, may well be busy this afternoon, but certainly as a young and up-and-coming goalkeeper, he's going to get plenty of practice and be able to show what he's capable of. Dom Hurd, well, I'm sure he'll be hoping in the Vic Park goal that he is almost a spectator today, although it is a rather chilly afternoon now as the rain has eased and the sky is brightening, but it's still an ominous grey, and you feel that rain could well be not far away. Our umpires for this match are Matthew Tate and Dan Mander as Vic Park get us underway in their familiar black and orange. James Collins pushes the ball out wide to Tanemitsu. Infield it comes to Ian Bircher. Tanemitsu forced to go back to Bircher again. Wide on the right-hand side is the captain, Brody Saar. Brody Saar, good skills from him. He advances, pursued though strongly by Luke Williams. And the free hit played to the baseline. Vic Park, good block inside the circle. Carried out of defence as well. Still going, that was good play in the end coming from number 11. I thought it was number 17, Nick Jolly. Well, apologies for that. Nick Jolly, of course, again is formerly from Cape Town, 27 years of age. Again, a player with a good CV in hockey terms. He's been at the club for 17 years. So again, a good club man. Bircher just plays the ball square. Just over the side, that one goes off the stick of Jolly. Vic Park trying to play on quickly. Raiders in that game against Curtin University, they had the lead 5 times and were pegged back. Just a missed trap there coming from Andrew Vaitenkanis. Two Vaitenkanis brothers playing for Vic Park. Bircher again goes back into the defensive line and back to Bircher again. Collins will get another touch. Tanamitsu, they've advanced up the pitch off the knee. Complaints it was off the knee, but it was bending down, so nothing doing for Raiders. It's still with Vic Park. Slid to the top of the circle and played into the foot of Nick Gabriel. So first penalty corner of the match goes the way of Vic Park. Can they open the scoring? We just had 2.5 minutes gone. So making his way to the baseline is Jason Gabriel. Tanamitsu waiting at the top of the circle. Alongside him we have Bircher and Regan Blythe. Out it comes, and it's Blythe. Took a deflection off the first runner. Long corner given. Regan Blythe, who played his hockey for the Warriors in the Upper Great Southern Hockey Association. It's in fact been given as a re-award, the umpires conferring, so another penalty corner. Maybe Blythe will be the option again. So Blythe waiting at the second battery. Andrew Vaitenkanis stopping for him. It is gone to Blythe again. Sharp save from Starkey, and a penalty corner given again, claiming I think there was a touch off the shin of the first runner. Looked as if that might well. And again, we've just got some number changes from Raiders, so we'll just try and sort those out as the match progresses. So Blythe, third time he goes. This time he fires it home, and it is Vic Park who have the lead. Regan Blythe getting the opening goal. Just 3 minutes gone on the clock. And he had 3 attempts before he got it right. But no doubt they will be pleased that they've got the opening goal of the match. The big challenge for North Coast is, well, Raiders have not scored against Vic Park in the last 3 matches. 4 matches rather, and in fact you go back to the 5th match as it breaks nicely inside the circle. It's actually been 314 minutes, 316 minutes rather, since they scored against Vic Park. So it's going to be a fairly big ask. Coming back defensively was Collins. He was making sure that there was no chance of a Raiders player getting on the end of that ball. So just calmly knocking the ball backwards and forwards in the defensive line at the moment. Brody Saar, just over the side it goes. Good defensive play coming from Luke Williams, forcing Saar over the side. Played out of defence from Matthew Espy, but it goes out over the side, just up on halfway. Turn there, coming from Lloyd Kant. Manages to pick out, again, another number change we've got, so. Reece Borchardt is wearing the number 3. He was initially down to be wearing number 19. So a little bit of space for Nick Corner, but forced to go back. Good work again coming from Mitch Jamison, and here's a really good chance. Into the circle they go. Defensive play comes back into the pads. It's dribbling over the baseline. Dom Hurd had lost that, but it was Oldfield with the shot. Very nearly pulling the goal back for Raiders. Comes wide now. Bouchard goes back, and Simon Wolf making his way forward. Free hit now to Raiders just outside the circle. Well, so it will be another long corner for Raiders. Good spell of pressure for them at the moment. Another free hit. This time they're going Vic Park's way and close down too quickly. Just been trying to sort out some of the differences in the numbers, because Raiders have really changed the shirt numbers that they originally had listed. So hopefully now we are all clear on who is who. So over the ball. Simon Wolf now wearing 21. Comes across now to Lloyd Cant. Cant will get it again. Just had vision only on the right-hand side. May have been just better to change his stance and open up and have play going down to the left-hand side where there was more space available. It's not going to be kept in play. Good attempt, though, by Kai Sturat. Tanamitsu coming out of defence, read that well, played a tricky pass back to Shane Benful, who was immediately put under pressure. So Raiders making a bit of a match of this. They're not going to lie down easily. That's not been in their nature, to be honest. Ball laid back. Still alive for Raiders inside the circle. Penalty corner comes their way. Is this the chance for them to get an equaliser? They could get a goal back here, which would make the game a little bit livelier. So Jasdev Singh is at the second battery. And he's broken too early, so Vic Park will lose a defender. Simon Wolf is at the first battery. They go to Jasdev Singh. He had to just grab that one quickly, looking for a deflection. Hurd made a really good save as the ball was behind him. He just dropped down, made a save with one hand. So Hurd keeping Vic Park in the match. That was just deflected off the stick of Andrew Vaitenkanis. Brodie Sarr. 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Leighton Canis goes back to Sarr again. Wide on the right-hand side is Daniel Cope, but screaming at Sarr for the ball, but not getting it. That's picked up well, and now a chance to come forward for Vic Park as Regan Blythe just, though, couldn't keep it under control and it ran out of play. So the ball back with Raiders. And that's a miscontrol that sees possession back with Brodie Sarr, battling to try and get the ball back. Good work in the end by Luke Williams. Top of the circle, Raiders taking a tumble. And looking for the free hit, not given, and it played on quickly. And that was really good defence, just stepping out and making sure that the ball never found its mark. But they've played on quickly, and in behind the defence are Vic Park, looking to play that across the face of goal. Up in the air it went, the deflection. Sasha Thomas, well, great improvisation by him in the end. Very nearly resulted in a goal. It so nearly looped inside the goal of Sam Starkey. Leighton Canis to Benford. Benford thought he'd found a foot, and the whistle goes, and he had, so free hit to Vic Park. Goes wide. Lovely turn from Blythe, but it must have just caught his foot. So Raiders carry the ball forward. It comes wide now to Declan Morris. A lovely turn coming again. Sasha Thomas still keeping possession for Vic Park. Pokes the ball forward, Gabriel. Well, are we going to see a card issued, I think? A green card, waiting to see which player is going off. That is a Raiders player down below us. It's the Raiders number 4, and we actually don't have a number 4 on the team list at all, so I'm afraid I can't tell you who that is at the moment. Brodie Sarr in space. Vic Park, all numbers at the top of the circle, nobody there. Good work coming from Nick Gabriel. Gabriel loses out to Thomas inside the circle, and a penalty corner goes the way of Vic Park. We've got just under 3 minutes left in the first quarter. And can Vic Park double their lead? Regan Blythe waiting again at the top of the circle. His goal, the difference between the two teams at the moment. Bircher also waiting alongside him. Bircher now moving to the first battery. Goes to Blythe again, and he sweeps this one low down. Wasn't really a flick as it never got off the ground, but Blythe has made it 2-0 now to Vic Park. With just over 2 minutes left in the first quarter. So Vic Park really in a good position at the moment in this match as the ball comes to Oldfield. Oldfield tries to play it forward to Gabriel. Gabriel got the free hit. It's closed down. Good skills by Gabriel. Then he gets a little push in the back from Andrew Vaitenkanis. Just saying calm things down is Matthew Espy. Espy is faced with a wall of black shirts in front of him, has to play the ball square. Just a flick in the air coming. As Vic Park come forward once more. Good lead from Jason Gabriel. Down in the corner, he has it. Plays the ball into the circle. Deflected over the baseline off the stick of Nick Jolly. Wide it comes, drilled across the face of goal, deflected up in the air, kept alive by Vic Park. That was clever from Benford. But no decision going the way of Vic Park, and so Raiders have a 16. South pass taken. Pass out of defence, manages to find Oldfield. Free hit goes against Raiders. Oldfield again can't believe it. He'd made a run forward, and it's going to be a long corner. Oh, it's actually a free hit. Andrew Vaitenkanis goes back to the defensive line. Brody Saar gives it back again. Kai Stirrat played it into the circle. So we're in the final minute of the first quarter. Matthew Espy over the ball for Raiders. Just no movement really in front of him. There was a good lead further forward, but unfortunately there were a couple of Vic Park players standing in the way as it's thrown to the air, brought down and carried out of defence well by Stirrat, but now he's lost it. Chance for Raiders to come forward. Good steal from Brody Saar. Saar does very, very well, and now Vaitenkanis tries to clean up, plays the square ball. Played into space, given away, and a chance now again for Raiders. Played towards the circle. Benful was there, and it's not smashed clear. It's the end of the first quarter, and it's been a good start for Vic Park with 2 goals scored from penalty corners, both of them converted by Regan Blythe. And so that means going into the first break, it's Vic Park 2, North Coast Raiders 0. Players making their way out for the start of the second quarter. And Raiders still have a lot to do. They're trailing by 2 goals to 0. They've had moments in that first quarter, but Vic Park have just looked the more cohesive, to be honest, as they're breaking forward, which may explain why Vic Park are 9th and North Coast Raiders 12th. Vic Park have won 8 games this season, drawn 3, lost 10. Regan Blythe over the ball, waiting for the whistle from the umpires. So the second quarter underway. Lovely leave, and it comes to Hayden Vaitenkanis. He just managed to find the foot there as he played it in off Reimers. Bircher now goes wide to Tanamitsu. Deflected off the stick, long corner. Ball quickly rolled to Tanamitsu. Short pass from him. Comes back now to Bircher. That's a great pass from Ian Bircher in the circle, trying to weave a little bit of magic, and he just almost kept it in play with Aidan Lowes. Gabriel was ready to pounce if the ball had come from Lowes. Just back on a slight angle, it just deflected along the baseline. Raiders play it infield. Lowes looking to steal. That's come up off his stick, so Raiders free hit. In fact, well, umpire's saying take it back. I don't agree. I think that was exactly where the foul occurred. Well, that was certainly not where it occurred. So being pedantic sometimes is not the best option. Reimers now gets possession of the ball, has to just hold it up, then plays it on the foot of Regan Blythe. He flicks it into the air, looking for the ball to be run onto by Luke Williams, but it was just too far ahead of Williams. And now Williams actually has a point, because it's meant to be a 16, and James Collins was taking it probably from a 26. Well, not quite 26, because although that is yards rather than meters. Andrew Veitakanis to Blythe, but just caught the foot again of Reimers, so it'll be a free hit to Vic Park. Infield goes Veitakanis. Good skills being shown by Sasha Thomas. And this time, though, it will be a free hit taken from the wrong spot again by Raiders. Played forward. Lloyd Kant was trying to find it. Brody Saar, though. Good stick work from him. Plays it forward. Kant's going to have to scurry to get back, but he's lucky that Hayden Veitakanis didn't get good control over the ball then. Reimers manages to get it forward, and there's a chance now for Luke Williams to burst down the flank. Looks to cut infield, impeded though by Sasha Thomas. Reimers looks to play it down the line. Thomas picks up the ball, and a lovely little dink forward into the path of Ethan Stirratt. Stirratt manages to find Blythe. Blythe looking to accelerate, beats one. Blythe squares it top of the D. Stirratt is there, wild swing on the back stick. And that's unfortunate, but it was very, very promising. Ethan Stirratt, who's a Wesley boy, before he was at Narrabeen District High School. He's played for the WA under-18s and under-15s, under-16s. So certainly is a player for the future coming through the Vic Park junior ranks, along with his brother, Kai. Collins goes wide now to Daniel Cope, back to Collins. Looking to close down was Luke Williams. A little bit of pressure now on Sasha Thomas, but recovered well. Finds Bircher. Bircher just one hand on the stick, just stretched out to keep possession. Breaking forward. Oh, what a pass that was. A little bit of a slip, unfortunately, for Vic Park, and good defence coming from Reimers. Awesome Reimers getting back, doing a good job. And now there's a chance for Luke Williams to burst forward for Raiders. Williams trying to get the better of Brody Saar, but nothing doing there from Brody Saar, experienced campaigner. And there's a foot of Bircher. That's an easy free hit given away. Bircher just stood his ground. Into the top of the circle it goes. There's a chance for Raiders. Brilliant tackle. Well, that was an outstanding tackle as the shot was about to come in from Nathan Oldfield. It was Daniel Cope who just got his stick to it. Great block. Collins again. Got a little bit of a nudge in the back. Managed to find the foot of Matthew Espy. Almost 5 minutes gone in the second quarter. No more goals at the moment, but ball thrown to the air by Collins. Brought down on the far side by Kai Stirratt. Into the circle it goes. That's a good pass, and the shot, it's deflected, and it's gone out. So Starkey gets a touch, keeps it out of the goal at the moment. Collins plays it forward, was looking for Gabriel, but it was intercepted well. It's Jasdev Singh with the interception. He's now taking a breather as Raiders go on the attack. And it's just been pushed too far ahead, and Brody Saar will collect for Vic Park. Saar showcasing his dribbling skills. He's dispossessed. Good tackle coming in from Mitch Jamison. Maybe it wasn't Mitch Jamison. I think it was actually Luke Williams. My apologies. And a shot on the reverse goes wide that time from Simon Wolfe. Tanamitsu with some space. Aidan Lowe's just checks his run. Great ball into Jason Gabriel. Starkey saves. Rebound's going to come back, and here's a really good chance. Starkey comes out, and it's a wild swing again from Ethan Stirrat. And that should have really been 3-0. I think he just got too excited. His eyes lit up like saucers in a cartoon. So trying to play their way out of defence. Good work coming from Declan Morris. Over the side it goes. Declan Morris just waiting for a ball. In fact, he's been given a free hit just inside the sideline. Jason Gabriel goes back, and it's now with Nick Corner. Halfway through the second quarter, no more goals at the moment. Lovely ball forward again. Ethan Stirrat just sliding, couldn't get the ball under possession, under control rather, and it was taken away from him. And block comes in from him as Lloyd Cant was looking to try and clear the defensive line. Cant will flick it wide, and it'll be brought down in the end by Declan Morris. Stepping out of defence and driving forward was Daniel Cope. So Cope from the side, just waiting for the changes to be rung by Vic Park. Gets the ball back from Bircher. Gives possession away, tries to win it back, and now there's space in the midfield as they break forward. It was Simon Wolfe who pushed it wide and just too far ahead of his teammate, Luke Williams, and over the side it went. Just a little bit of composure there in the midfield, and Raiders could have really launched an attack and maybe pulled a goal back. Nick Corner goes back to Bircher once more. Bircher stays calm. Tanamitsu. Up the line he goes. Peyton Canis is scrambling to try and keep possession. Gets the free hit, plays on quickly. Hayden Vayton Canis into the circle he goes. Gave it to Blythe, and well, there's a stop for a second as people thought the whistle had gone, but just a slip out wide, and eventually it goes off the stick of Vayton Canis. So it'll be a Raiders ball from the sideline. Belted up the side, collected in the end by Collins. Tanamitsu to Bircher. And Collins just moving out into that space. Good movement by Vic Park. Collins carries forward, goes over the 23-metre line. What a pass that was, and right on the end of it, well, certainly should have been, was Cope. He was in a really good position. Just needed to deflect that one into the goal, and it was 3-0. Cope there, letting that one run. It'll go all the way down the field of play. Bircher just looked as if he might have thought about throwing the aerial pass. Instead, he picks out Vayton Canis, and you can see the gap as he picks out his brother. His brother's on the reverse stick, shoots on the backhand, and it just goes over the crossbar. It wasn't a bad effort from Hayden Vayton Canis. A wonderful pass picking him out by his brother. So Matthew Espy again surveys what's ahead of him. Goes out wide, and ball played forward in the end by Mitch Jamison. It's a free hit now to Raiders. Can they find a goal before the halftime break? Espy again. Vic Park being told to push out. Espy drills that one in on the angle. There were runners going in. Jasdev Singh giving him the thumbs up. At the back post, though, trying to come in and get a touch was Reece Borchardt. Couldn't get a touch, and now Brody Saar on halfway, has space, feeds the ball to Aidan Lowes. Lowes short little pass to Vatan Khanis, wants the ball back. It was misdirected, and Jasdev Singh manages to pick the ball up for Raiders. Saar, though, steals possession. Good intercept to him to Lowes. Lowes turns and spins, and in the end goes back to Saar as the avenue of attack gets snuffed out by Raiders. Tanamitsu. Bircher. Collins now beats Jasdev. And that was really just sweeping that ball out of danger. Saar collects again for Vic Park. Bircher goes square to Tanamitsu. Down the line he goes. Picks out Vatan Khanis. Picked up again now by Collins. Collins, though, dispossessed, and there's a chance for Raiders to counterattack. Haven't really got the numbers going forward, and the pass wasn't collected. And unfortunately, the attack breaks down again. Bouchard, who was really the player looking to get on the end of that pass if he could. Rhys Bouchard is one of the young guns at Raiders. Apparently a very handy cricketer as well. I think he scored 120 in 107 balls earlier in the summer last year. That's good by anyone's standards. On the ball now, he just manages to touch his own foot with the ball. So it is a free hit to Vic Park. 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Aidan Lowes collects again, plays the ball forward, coming across, intercepted, stopping it, getting through was Nick Jolly. Regan Blythe would have been clean through on goal had that pass made its mark. Bircher to Saar. Saar just lifting the ball over the stick. Good defensive play again coming from Mitch Jamieson for Raiders. And the pressure being applied, look at that. There were so many players coming around and just cramping Simon Wolfe. He had nowhere to go. Jasdev has managed to get the free hit. Goes infield, and Raiders looking to go on the attack again. Jasdev. All played square by Jamieson. Espy. A good shout. That was a really good shout. Just making the ball be left behind. Unfortunately not collected there as they drove forward by Nick Jolly. Ball comes wide now to Kai Stirrat. Tanamitsu. Collins again in acres of space. Feeds it forward. That was well cut out by Raiders. Whistle's gone. Oh, we had 2 balls on the pitch. There's one inside the circle. So that's what the delay was for. Jasdev has to retake again. That's a great pass and into the circle, trying to move on to the forehand. Good play there from Mitch Jamieson, and he's won another penalty corner for North Coast Raiders. Can they get a goal now? They would really like one if they could. Got just, well, this will be the end of the play of the first half, and so you just feel if they could get a goal now, it would just give them the lift going into the second half. 2-1 is a much better scoreline than 2-0. So Jasdev waiting at the top of the circle. Alongside him, Nathan Oldfield. Oldfield at the first battery, Jasdev at the second. Whistle has gone. That was a long delay. Jasdev, good save. Heard low down. The rebound comes back, and Well, the whistle's gone for a foot. Where was the foot? And I'm afraid I agree with Raiders. That is very unfortunate. That is, if there was a foot inside the circle from the defender, I suppose they delayed the injection so long that the hooter had gone. But anyway, that is the end of the first half. Raiders looking a little bit dejected as they come off, but it is Vic Park 2, North Coast Raiders 0. Welcome back to Perth Hockey Stadium, the second half of this final match of the Men's Premier 1 round robin is about to be played as we see Vic Park making their way out. They're leading by 2-0 against North Coast Raiders, still looking for their first elusive win in the 2019 season. Gives me a chance again to thank our sponsors, Kookaburra, Tiger Turf, Ausdrill, FMG and Danks Furniture for their support. Raiders come out, they felt they were a little bit hard done by, but they took forever with that penalty corner late in the final seconds of the first half. Maybe they were thinking they were going to get it right, and instead they missed out on another penalty corner. So can they find a way back? 2-0, they say, is a dangerous score. 2-1, suddenly the game is alive. Vic Park, though, certainly in the box seat at the moment and looking a lot more threatening when they have the ball. So second half underway. Raiders in the yellow. Comes wide to Nick Jolly. Jolly loses that lovely spin from Veyton Canis. Lowe's, oh, what a pass to Blythe. Blythe, oh, he pulled the ball back, but there was nothing doing there. Good defence again. Carried out and stolen back by Aidan Lowe's, just dispossessing Nick Jolly. And Blythe, well, he couldn't get the better of Lloyd Cant. So Regan Blythe just placing the ball, playing on quickly, and stepping forward was Jazdev to just take it over the baseline. So a long corner to be taken. Well, Aidan Lowe's didn't really stop that, but the umpires have let play go. Bircher back to Lowe's. Lowe's, unfortunately not a great touch, but he's managed to find the foot of Lloyd Cant. Plays on quickly. Into the circle he goes this time. Looks to lay it towards the penalty spot. It gets a touch taken away from Vic Park, and it will be their ball from the side. Sasha Thomas over it. Veyton Canis, good deflection, finds Gabriel. Gabriel shoots just past the upright. So again, we've just got 2 balls, so just delaying the restart. Not a bad effort, though, from Jason Gabriel. Ryan Getty. Ryan Getty in the midfield for Raiders was the lively character. He was the player you felt could create for them in the first half. Ball to be played in by Nick Jolly. Just Veyton Canis hit the turf, and Jolly's pass is to nobody except for, well, rather nobody in his team. And he gave it straight to Sasha Thomas. I'd like to just remind viewers as well that the new Hockey One national competition about to get underway, and Thundersticks memberships are available to support Western Australian side in that competition. They have 3 home games as Lowe's cuts infield. Sasha Thomas tries to just take the ball away, holds it up momentarily, forced to go back to Bircher on halfway. Western Australia will play the team from Melbourne, Canberra and Sydney. Teams based on city franchises now, as into the circle goes Veyton Canis. He felt that that was deflected up off Jazdev's stick into his body rather than his own. Jazdev with the ball now. Bircher, plenty of time to pick out Gabriel, and he does so on halfway. Gabriel just leaving it behind. Brody Saar fires it forward, looking for the lead from Blythe, but Blythe couldn't get it under control. It was almost like a Yorker right in at his toes. Brody Saar comes across and will bring that down. Tanamitsu. And that's intercepted well by Jazdev. Jazdev now releases the ball forward into the circle, back to Jazdev. He keeps it alive on the baseline. And there's a penalty corner won by Jazdev. So good interplay between him and Luke Williams, winning a penalty corner for Raiders. The big question is, can they turn it into a goal and just make this game a little bit tighter? It's been a long, long, hard season for North Coast Raiders. Conceded 110 goals now, scored just 21 in this their 22nd match. So Yazdev waits at the top of the circle. Alongside Yazdev as well is Simon Wolf. Goes to Wolf, good save by Hurd. Up in the air it goes though, off the stick of the Raiders player, so it will be a 16 to Vic Park. And they wanted to play on quickly. Brody Saar. Collins goes back to Bircher again. That's a great pass and good defence in the end from Kant, just coming across and making sure that didn't go all the way through to Ethan Stirratt. Jamieson goes infield to Geddy. Geddy, quick pass, managing to pick out Declan Morris. Morris put under pressure by Gabriel. Gabriel goes infield to Blythe, but well, it's going to break for Gabriel again, and he pushes it forward. It's one-on-one with the keeper. Laid off square. Gabriel pushes it in. It's a third goal. That was really unselfish from Ethan Stirratt. And Jason Gabriel gets a third goal for Vic Park. But great combination play between him and Ethan Stirratt. So just 6 minutes gone into the second half, and it is a third goal now for Vic Park. Jason Gabriel scoring his 10th goal, his 11th goal of the season. His 8th field goal of the season. Just hope now that Raiders can still keep going and not just implode. Length of time between their scoring against Vic Park just gets longer. As I mentioned, 316 minutes it was before the start of today. Now we're up to 342 minutes. Morris, he's just got his angles wrong and it's gone over the side. Aidan Lowes pushes it forward to Ethan Stirratt. This time couldn't get it under control. Ethan Stirratt comes from Muntagen, which is in the wheat belt. Incredibly, was originally a railway siding, but they turned into a town site back in the 1925. It has a hotel and a golf course and a population of just 51 people. Tanamitsu, Cope, almost dispossessed by Oldfield. Trying to keep that in play was Vayton Canas. So Geddy now from the side. Pressure applied, but managing to get the ball away was Matthew Espy, and Lloyd Kant draws the foul from Vayton Canas. Kant sliding it down the line and just really was asking a heck of a lot from Luke Williams. Tanamitsu. Ball from the side. Just a flick of the wrist and Tanamitsu fires it into the midfield. Looked as if it caught the body there of Nick Corner. Corner concedes. Geddy over the ball. Comes across now to Declan Morris, one of the younger players. As he flicks it to the air, it's gone pretty much straight up, but then there was danger created by the Raiders player coming into that space. Sasha Thomas didn't get on the end of that. Espy steals it, stays calm at the back and tries to push it forward. And there's a chance now for Ryan Getty, but he's forced backwards into his own 23-metre line. Good turn from Declan Morris. He's kept the ball in play. Good skill from him. And then the free hit goes Getty's way. Played forward. Jazdev, that's a great pass as well. And just a stumble from Tanemitsu, and unfortunately for Raiders, the player went straight over the top of him. So now it is Blythe, pushes it forward. Sasha Thomas kept it alive. Oh my worship, he's just gone out of play, I think. That was unlucky because it was a really good ball across the face of goal. And coming in was Kai Stirrat. Lloyd Kant deflects it up the line, but there was nobody there in that space. Tanemitsu. Peyton Canis plays it square. Cope goes back to Bircher. Bircher puts some pace on us, and it comes wide now to Shane Benfill. Benfill, good pass infield to Collins. Collins will get the free hit, takes it very quickly. Into the circle he goes. Kant, good touch from him. Manages to take it away from Regan Blythe. And then just puts it up onto the hill on the reverse stick. We're just about to enter the final 5 minutes now of the third quarter. Just the one goal added since half-time. Scored by Jason Gabriel. Bircher drills that one straight into the circle. Gabriel was at the top looking for the deflection, but he was just too far away from him. So Espy now plays the ball out. Manages to pick out Nick Jolly. Jolly accelerates over halfway, chased by Collins. Jolly has to just check back. He's looking for support. There wasn't much there, and Getty just stepped off his left foot infield. And now it's Sasha Thomas on the attack. Over the side it goes off the stick of Matthew Espy. Sasha Thomas, again scanning what's available as he plays on. Looks to take on Espy. Espy forces him wide. Espy then comes up with the ball. Good tackle by the captain of Raiders. Getty. And they're hemmed in at the moment. Getty plays it over the side, so it will be Vic Park ball. Played square, top of the circle. That looked as if it was played into the foot of Jamison. It was indeed, so free hit again. Over the ball is James Collins. Collins self passes, then shoots on the reverse. That's a very good save by Sam Starkey. That was going in the top corner from Collins. Collins, who hails from Fremantle, went to Aquinas College. And we've got time off. So I'm not quite sure what the umpire's got an issue with here. Okay, so it's the bench are giving a little bit of verbal to the umpire, and the umpire's saying to the captain, I've had enough of that. Please get them to cut it out. Now that's good management in my book. Talk to the captain. Tanemitsu, and he gets his angles horribly wrong there and doesn't manage to find Benfill, but plays it over the side, and it will be Raiders' ball. Managed to be brought under control up the sideline by Luke Williams, and it will be again Raiders' ball. Ryan Getty just leaves it behind. Lloyd Kant flicks it to the air. It goes very, very high. Chasing it is Williams, and he came into Tanemitsu's space, creating the danger. So it will be Vic Park ball. No need for that, to concede that foul. Entering that space. Benfill finding Blythe, dispossessed by Morris. Morris gets the free hit. Tanemitsu manages to get that one, finds Aidan Lowes. Lowes shows too much of the ball, and it's stolen by Jolly. Jolly advancing now. Jolly looks to play it into the circle, and what a tackle that was by Tanamitsu as the shot was about to come in from Ian Grobbelaar. It will be a free hit to Raiders just outside the circle. Lloyd Cant over the ball now for them. Leaves it behind. Getty. The decision now has gone the other way. I think it was not the 5 meters, not quite sure. A little bit of a miscommunication anyway between the Raiders players on the attack. Brody Saar dinks it forward and the ball goes to Ethan Stirratt. Stirratt with his long arms and long legs trying to get the better of the slightly shorter Declan Morris. Couldn't manage to, and Morris was helped out as well. But over the side it goes from Espy. So it will be Vic Park ball from the side with a minute to go in the third quarter. Tanamitsu getting instructions from Dom Hurd in goal. Very clear and precise. Saar into the circle it goes and deflected for a long corner. There'll still be time to take this. Ball played on quickly, and again Hurd shouting instructions to James Collins. Collins wins another free hit. Benful wants the ball. They're looking for a ball as quickly as possible. The ball patrol going to fetch one. Didn't have one in their hand, so in the end it's not going to be a good outcome at the moment. Just taking too long. Collins now finally has a ball. Plays it back to Tanamitsu. Looks to slide that one straight down the middle. It's good interception in the end coming from Simon Wolfe. Possession back with Vic Park. Now it's Gabriel. He's got 10 seconds to get it into the circle. Missed trap from him. Tries to just hit it in from the corner, and that will be the final play in this quarter as the hooter sounds now. And that is the end of the third quarter. So no goals still for North Coast Raiders. One more goal added in that quarter by Vic Park, and it means we go into the final break, and it is Vic Park Panthers 3, North Coast Raiders 0. Vic Park making their way back out onto the turf for the final quarter. Not surprisingly, they're keen to get things underway. Raiders still in a huddle down below us. Will be the last 15 minutes of hockey for 2019 for most of these players. Some of them, of course, involved with the Thundersticks in the new National Hockey One competition. No finals, though, for either of these teams. Vic Park currently sitting 9th and North Coast Raiders sitting 12th. That is in a 12-team league. So Raiders to get the final 15 minutes underway. The whistle goes and Nathan Oldfield plays it back. Over the side it goes, unfortunately. Just running away from Ian Grobbelaar. Collins just given a little bit too much space, able to turn. Lucky deflection down the middle. Jolly's missed it. Gabriel, oh, lovely pass. Veyton Cunnas, it's gone off the post and it's gone in. Well, that was rather fortunate. was good goalkeeping from Sam Starkey, but in the end it is Hayden Vaitenkanis who gets a fourth for Vic Park. Gabriel with a lovely touch to set him up. And you feel that that is now definitely it for the result of this match. But Gabriel with a beautiful pass to set up Vaitenkanis. Starkey, you feel a little bit unlucky as he came out and tried to close down the angle. Can Raiders, though, break this drought that has gone on now for 2 seasons against Vic Park? They've been kept scoreless. Into the circle it goes, back post. Oh, there was a really good chance that time around. Reece Bouchard coming in at the back post. If he'd got a touch, he was almost sure to score. Getty plays it out wide onto the left-hand side. Jolly forced away by Gabriel. And the free hit goes the way of Jason Gabriel. Bircher belts that one forward. Tanamitsu at full stretch, could not keep it in play. Lloyd Kant, Matthew Espy calling for the ball. And Espy did well. He drew 2 players and then meant that the pass could be made into the back line to Mitch Jamison. Possession, though, given away then cheaply by Raiders. It's just those turnovers that have cost them dearly. Tanamitsu carries over halfway. Forced to go backwards. Hrobala coming across to try and close down. And the sticks are caught, and that was real determination, and then just cleared from inside the circle. Blythe was not going to let anything stop him getting towards the circle then. Tanamitsu again having to accelerate into that space to get on the end of that pass. Does well, tops his pass, ricocheted up from the edge, and wow, that was some shot. It's going to be a penalty corner because it was danger as it came up off the stick of Nick Jolly at head height. So another penalty corner for Vic Park now, their 5th of the match. Jason Gabriel making his way down to the baseline. Tanamitsu has made his way forward. Blythe is there. Blythe is on a hat trick if he can score. He's scored 2 penalty corners so far in the match. Can he make it 3? Bircher, I think he's just lurking there as a distraction. It comes out to Blythe. It wasn't a good trap. Now it comes to Bircher. Play to Lowe's. Lowe's trying to keep it in play. Plays it back. Good save, and it eventually goes in, and it is Brody Saar who gets the final touch, and it is 5-0 now to Vic Park. Well, in the end, from a penalty corner that didn't work, it worked out very well for Vic Park. Brody Saar was the man who managed to put it away. And it is now 5-0 for Vic Park. And they've won 5-0 twice in the last 2 years. They won 5-0 against Raiders in September 2018, and they won 5-0 earlier this season. That was in June. Jason Gabriel got a hat-trick that day. Jody Saar just got the 1. He's got 1 today. Gabriel's going to have to go a bit to get a hat-trick today. He's just got the 1 goal so far. Cope's pass forward is blocked well by Nick Jolly. Espy now. So Vic Park, you feel it could be carnival time in this next 10 minutes as some of them showcase their skills. Gabriel advances into the circle, creates some space, goes across. Lloyd Kant doesn't get there, was kicked into the foot of Ethan Stirratt. I think Raiders are stunned that it's been given as a long corner. I must admit, I thought it should have been a 16. Jazdev looks to play on, but there's nobody forward as he looks to dribble the ball out. Everybody was behind him. There were just 2 players up ahead of him. And Ryan Geddy runs out of space as he too tries to take things into his own hands and run forward. Collins now will be closed down, but Collins has got the pace, accelerates, plays it into the circle, but it goes harmlessly. He's claiming it should be a free hit outside the circle as his stick was caught as he was trying to play that pass. Well, that was brought down well initially by Braden Fernandez, but then he didn't manage to get the ball forward. Fernandez, who is a Guildford Grammar boy, he played for the state under-16s this year. So again, another one of the young players coming through at Raiders, being given his chance in the first team. Collins, good pass, but just running away there from Kai Stirrat. Benfield, though, keeps it in play. Gets away from Lloyd Cant. Cant comes back. It comes back to Stirrat. Stirrat plays it in. Deflection from Gabriel was a good one. I'm not sure if that was a save in the end, but that certainly was. Starkey in a good position, getting his pads to the ball. So Getty closed down, back to Espy. Now there's space for Ryan Getty. Jazdev has to just cut back. That's good work from Aidan Lowes. Espy again, looking for options, and unfortunately Lloyd Cant was running off to be replaced by Declan Morris, and that was the pass he was looking to make. The ball comes to Morris now. Swept away from him, over the side it goes. It's going to be Jamison's ball. Jamison looks for Getty, but stepping forward and reading that so well was Nick Corner. And there's trouble now. Tanemitsu into the circle. He goes, cracks it towards goal. And it just comes off the pads of Starkey. Probably should have played that to the back post, Tanemitsu, because he had a player there. And if it didn't go in, the player was in a good position just to tap that one in. But probably so much space, he thought, there's a goal on with my name on it. Comes again now to Corner. Corner plays it in. Shane Benfield. Oh, dispossessed. Good tackle. Aidan Lowes comes back to Bircher again. Cope. Short little pass into the midfield. Shane Benfield just peeling away, creating space for himself. Then manages to pick out Kai Stirrat. Stirrat driving towards the baseline, and he runs out of space. So a little bit of support down below us for Raiders, still trying to urge them on, and if that got through, it was going to be trouble. But Cope getting a crucial touch and making sure that Luke Williams never received the pass. This time it's Bircher who steps across, plays it up the side with plenty of pace. Morris gets it as he's falling, gives it to Espy. Espy looks to take on two players, loses out Vayton Canis. And it's Espy who gets the free hit. I think the foul was the one coming from Kai Stirrat. Certainly didn't look as if Vayton Canis had committed any foul. And now Declan Morris, a little bit of space for him. Looks to play it down the line. It was a good idea. But unfortunately, the player coming towards him, Luke Williams, was looking to come off for a rest. And just was caught wrong-footed as the pass was played. Jazdev almost stealing that one. Bircher. And happy to let that one run out of play. It'll be a 16 as we're into the final 6 minutes of this match. And finally, we have some blue sky overhead. It was grey, it was raining, it was a really dull day. Bircher brings it down, keeps it in play, but just played it cleverly off the Raiders player. Benfield down the line. Hayden Vayton Canis leaves the free hit to be taken by Benfield. Will come across now to Collins. Good intercept coming back. It was really good defensive play coming in the end from Bouchard. Shallow breaks now for Sasha Thomas. Thomas goes back to Tanemitsu. Tanemitsu, well, that was not a bad pass. He was trying to pick out the run of Hayden Vaitenkanis. Ryan Getty. Slight mistrap, but he's done well to keep possession. Jazdev should get that down. He does indeed. Tries to help it forward. Was impeded by Andrew Vaitenkanis. So free hit to Raiders. Jazdev with the ball. Oh dear, not the touch he was looking for. And Hayden Vaitenkanis comes back, gets it to Sasha Thomas. Jazdev just clipped his toe, I think. So Vaitenkanis will play the ball infield. Bircher helps it on to Benful. Benful was a little bit wrong-footed. And then it's replaced by Aiden Lowes. Espy goes infield. That's a good pass and a chance now to create something for Raiders. Shot, it hit the post. Well, what a shot that was in the end from Simon Wolf. Ran diagonally across the face of goal on the reverse stick. He beat Dom Hurd, but it ricocheted off the left-hand post. Now that would have broken that goal drought that has lasted now, as I mentioned, 4 games. And if we count this one, it will be 5 as Gabriel now surges towards goal. Just holds play up, tries to play it back. He does, and that is a great, unselfish pass again from Jason Gabriel. Regan Blythe gets a hat-trick. 2 penalty corners and a field goal for Blythe. And that is 6 now for Vic Park. Well, again, some of the unselfish play. Jason Gabriel set up 2 goals today, and Ethan Stirrat set up the goal for Jason Gabriel. So it's been some really good team play from Vic Park, and I'm sure that will be very encouraging as they look ahead to 2020. Be disappointed they didn't make the top 5 in 2019, but there's some good signs there. That's a good block, and there's a chance again now for Raiders to get a goal, but Bircher says not while I'm in the defensive line. Bircher happy to carry it forward. Bircher, 19 caps for the Kookaburras, an international career plagued by injury, but you can still see he reads the game so well at the back for Vic Park. Played on from the side is Ethan Stirrat. Great stop, Lloyd Cant. That was a difficult ball to bring under control as Ryan Getty gets the ball over the side. He'll take it himself. We're into the final 2 minutes. Lloyd Cant flicks to the air, takes a deflection off the stick of Ethan Stirrat as he goes up periscope. Bircher, plenty of time. And he just cheekily lifts it past across the field of play from Borchett. That's going to be a Vic Park ball. Brody Saar in the sunshine waiting for the ball to be given to him. Jazdev obliges. Bircher now. Forward it goes. Good touch again, that time from Daniel Cope. Free hit to Vic Park just outside the circle. And taken, I think, from the wrong spot. So Vaitenkanis goes back to Cope. Cope looks to play it in towards the near post. And that's good anticipation, but it was always heading out of play. Kai Stirrat, though, showing the eagerness to get on the end of the pass. So Raiders, we're into the last half a minute of their season. And also Vic Park's. It's been a really long, hard season for North Coast Raiders. Ball goes out of play. It will be a 16, and Matthew Espy looks at the clock. Such a strong player for the club over a period of time as Lowes just pulls that out of the air and plays it over the side, and that will be the last play of the season. And Jason Gabriel was quick to shake hands with Matthew Espy, as North Coast Raiders will be relegated for this season, but it's been a good end of the season for Vic Park as they managed to notch 6 goals, with a hat-trick being scored in the end by Regan Blythe. So a perfect way for him to finish the season. And the final score here is Vic Park 6, North Coast Raiders 0.